Hey church, we are into Romans chapter 7 today for our daily Bible reading. And Paul is kind of answering the question of, well, if I'm a Christian, what happens if I sin? Or why do I still sin as a Christian? If we've been saved by grace through faith in what Christ has done for us, and it's not based on our works, then why do we as Christians sin? And so he uses his own kind of personal experiences of realizing that the life of a Christian is a war, and that there's going to be, in any war, there's going to be battles. And so some battles you win, some battles you lose, but we know that ultimately the victory of the war has been accomplished by Christ. And so as the hope and the encouragement we have is we know the victory is secure ultimately, but there's still going to be battles that we rage in the present time with sin, living in a sinful, fallen world. And so in verse 21, Paul says this in chapter 7. So I find this to be the law that when I want to do right, evil lies close at hand. And so he continues, throughout this chapter talking about this battle, this duality of the law and the sin and flesh, and how do these things play out with one another. And I think once again, just as we can all relate to, if you are on a diet, it seems that you see all the unhealthy food as a lot more tempting when you know you're not supposed to eat it and things. And so I think it's the same comparison here. Is now as a believer with the Holy Spirit dwelling within you, you still know there's the temptations, you still know there's sin there. And so how do we handle those temptations? And so Paul saying, yes, sometimes you're going to succeed and you can overcome those sins. Other times you are going to give in and you're going to fall into a sin, but you don't live there, right? The victory has been secured by Christ. And so we have hope in that fact. And if we even look back early in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, God tells Cain, before he kills his brother, that he even gives him the warning, says that sin is crouching at the door. The desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it, right? Just their sin is there, but it doesn't mean you have to give in to that temptation, right? You can't overcome it. And then Paul later on in his writing to the church in Corinth, in 1 Corinthians 10:13, tells them this: no temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man, but God is faithful and will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape that you may be able to endure it. So those are the hopes that as a Christian, yes, you will still face temptation, you will still sin, but the goal is, as we continue to seek and serve Christ, that we'll win more of those battles, knowing that, once again, the victory of the war has been secured, not by our works, but on what Christ has done for us. And so that is encouragement from our daily Bible reading today, is to fight to overcome sin that you will face in your life. And you do that by reaching up to God, and then you can express by reaching out and serving other people. And so that's the encouragement from the Word today. Have a great day, church.